Hello, my name is Joseph Dalton, but you can call me Joey. I have a dream of creating cartoon shows for a TV station such as Cartoon Network or Nickelodeon. I've drawn over 1,000 different characters, some not as creative, but all of them entirely original. I've created 8 storylines for some of these characters, such as Zon's Life, Tomcat, and Space Rangers. You're probably wondering why I'm telling you this. Well, there's a good reason. I thought that there were more people like me in Salisbury, people with artistic abilities. And I found a legion of artists, in all kinds. This documentary will show you the artistic value of some of the people in SHS.
Alrighty. So, get away from me with that camera, dude. Alright. So here, I think what we should do, guys, is maybe run down the street here, and we'll run back, and I'm like, oh darn, the camera turned off, but we'll be like, hey, alright, here's the Mafia base, Fabio, and then you'll go, my name's not Fabio. I'm like, be quiet, Fabio. You don't want the hookers to know. And then we'll be like, running up, and then you'll like point out, hey, didn't we just run down there and then come running right back? And then I'll go, no, Fabio, you're so naive. Noobs are naive. Noobs are naive. Did you? And of course, one thing would lead to another.
Hello, this is Chris Dreyfus. He is one of the artists I wanted to show off.
Yes, thank you for having me here, Joseph. It's a pleasure being in my own home and being interviewed.
Yes. Okay, so what exactly is Agents?
Well, Agents is a privately produced television series, as you would know, because, you know, you're in it with me. Continue on.
Well, who are the characters?
Well, you know, there are a lot of different zany characters that, you know, I produced over the years because I am the writer, the producer, and the director. So essentially, and the main star, one of the main stars. So I essentially have created a film monopoly, if you will. So I have total control over whatever goes on. I mean, there's usually a lot of artistic input from the other members of the cast, such as you and Justice Forcold, who's sitting in the background making all these hand motions. Yeah. So essentially there are 2 factions. It's kind of like a red versus blue type thing. Only not. Because there is Agent West, who is played by me, and he is a suave, sophisticated character, but not too bright. He usually leads the agent's missions. And then there's the commander, played by you. And he's not too bright either. He's more of a comic relief character, in my opinion. He certainly is. There's certainly a lot of good chemistry that you learn from watching these types of films. I mean, if you watch the classic first episode, you compare it to the later works such as the Christmas special, episode 13 and 14. You can really see how the series has evolved over the past year that we've been doing it.
Okay. Well, the other reason I chose Chris is because he has some marvelous sculptures. You want to show us some?
Yes, I'll bring over a sculpture here. Bring over one of these sculpturific sculptures. You don't need to be getting all over here. Let's see. I'll bring over this one. Alright, see here. Sit down. This is no proper way to conduct an interview. So what else did you want to talk to me about?
Your sculptures, just present them.
Alrighty.
Just a few, though.
I am a man of many talents, which I pride myself on being. Can it, you background character? One of these things is creating nice little articulated sculptures, as I like to call them. And you can see they're about 6 inches in height here. This is a very fine example of the many art forms that I am in all my greatness. Thank you for that. So essentially what you do when you make a sculpture like this, basically the core here, this is a great example of this figure here. Because if you look at it, and this is a very homely fellow, I do admit, but you can see the real breakdown. It's like a core. First you have model magic, the model magic layer. This is actually the last layer to go on, because prior to that, you usually have an exoskeleton underneath. Like, see here, it uses toothpicks, and probably under here is either a tinfoil rod or another toothpick, which serves as the basis for the sculpture. It's kind of like a skeleton. I actually have one in progress over here. Next, you build the central body. Like on this specific figure, here I'll bring over this other character here. Bring over this little guy with the bandages. For this specific figure, he does not have a standard build, but he's kind of non-traditional. But here, you can see this is probably either a toothpick inside this arm attached to another toothpick, which is glued on. Actually, right here is a perfect example. There's a toothpick in there which attaches to the hand, so it allows for the articulation. Next, you have the legs. Now, at the time, I have not figured out a type of way to make the legs individually moving, like some of your collector lines that you see. But there is a bit of a side-to-side motion, as you can see here.
Mm.
It's not too great, but these were never intended to be more than sculptures, so you're not going to be like, you're not going to go, I'm throwing you against the wall, die, you stupid piece of crap. No, that's not how it works. And then the head twists, and usually, like, right underneath here in this torso piece, there is a piece of tinfoil, an aluminum foil piece, which is an ingenious method to create the body. With the head here, most of the time there's just pure model magic, but I think in this one specific case there may have been some tinfoil. Actually, maybe not. You know, there's sometimes there's tinfoil, sometimes there's not. And usually when I'm trying to make these, I'm trying to put like some sort of unique little feature in them. So in the case of this one, like this little guy here, he probably wouldn't have a very good action feature at the time. But for this character, of course, you know, you have the little head movement. You just lift off the bandages, and you see a little battle scar there. So it's nothing really that complex to do, if you have time and the money to do so. And of course, you have the larger scale figures. Like this is my most recent creation.
Okay.
Obviously, you can tell the scale.
That's not tinfoil either.
No life.
No sex life. Alright, you better edit that out. But as you can see here, this is a very big figure. It's made out of a little bit of tinfoil, not as much as the other ones. It is certainly a non-traditional sculpture, which I would like to see, hopefully, do more larger scale types of these in the future, because let's just face it, if you look at this, it's this whole upper mass piece, because this has some posability in the top here too. I hate you. Has some articulation, and it is almost as big as my head. It's quite big. So you can see the many types of art forms, not just in the theatrical, but also in the sculptural.
Okay, well, thank you for that. Wonderful. And thank you for throwing the blanket on. But thank you.
No problem.
And that's all we needed. And most of this will probably not be used. There are many branches of art, and one is music. A senior named Ariel Velez seeks to be a famous rapper known as AV3. Here is an excerpt from one of his songs.
Send this to y'all, y'all read the mail. When my uncle died, I cried in a river, then I drowned. And I walk with a smile, but it's a frown. And I tell jokes, but bye to the clown. And it feels like nobody wants me around. It's a heavy amount, not out for the count, but I failed many people in my past, and I'm going in the garbage and I'm getting in the trash. And that's where the past, and it haunts me, and it won't stop taunting.
Other places to find musical arts are band, chorus, and a band called Identity Crisis. From drawing to filming, and to even interpretive dance, students in SHS have many artistic value.